Hi, I'm Stephanie Stegan. I am going to do a presentation for you today about Law and Ethics for Instructional Leadership 564 with Dr. William Kaiser from Jacksonville State University. Today I want to talk a little bit about unethical behaviors of teachers. Now, teacher conduct, we do have a freedom of expression to a certain degree. We are held to a higher standard and moral code because of our influence on children and what we do every day with children and parents. And then we have to consider the impact of our behavior on students, colleagues, and our entire profession. So when looking at these things, Alabama created the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics, and they have a very high standard for educators, and it's 9 standards that outline the professional behaviors of educators. It describes ethical and unethical behaviors. It develops a very high expectation for teachers, and it defines the actions that will be taken if unethical behaviors occur. So teachers in Alabama have a standard to go by, and there's really nothing left ambiguous. So you know when you are creating those behaviors. Now, there are 3 areas I want to cover today, and the first one of unethical behavior, where it can start, is social media and students. Now, a lot of schools don't have a clear policy regarding social media because it's kind of new, because teachers use it to reach out to students and to do different kinds of things. The contacting students on social media can really open the door for a lot of misconduct, things that you become friends with those students and your professional line is drawn there. So you need to really keep that close and to yourself. Students have been sexually harassed and manipulated and exposed to pornographic material by teachers because they considered them friends. We are not friends with our students. They are our students. And so this is where the line tends to get fuzzy. And situations that arise can call for suspensions and even possibly resignations. Now, in some cases that I was reading, teachers did get to keep their jobs, but that was because the schools did not have a clear social media policy. And so you had teachers that were conducting, harassing students through social media, and they were still able to keep their jobs. So in Alabama, I don't think we could do that. Now, sexual behavior with students. Social media a lot of times is involved in those sexual cases. And unfortunately, Alabama in 2015 led the nation in teacher-student sex cases. And because of that, that's why the Code of Ethics is so important. And also another reason why Alabama created professional development, so that teachers could watch videos and see how their actions would lead to sexual harassment or sexual behaviors, and then also the aftermath of it and the students that were left behind. You should never allow yourself to be in a situation when you're alone with a student. And then this behavior would not only lead to the loss of your certification, but it is a criminal act. They are minors, they are children. And so it will, a lot of times will result in criminal charges, and then you have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. And then the last one we're going to cover is cheating on state assessments. And sometimes educators feel like they are justified in that cheating. They might feel pressure to have high scores if it's part of their tenure or their evaluation process. It might assist in making the school look better. Maybe they're a low-scoring school, and maybe it's even on a principal level, and they've said, let's do this to try to make our school look better. Some districts offer bonuses for high scores, and sometimes you might want to move up the ladder. So you want to look like you've really made a difference in your classroom. And so these are all reasons that could be given for an educator to cheat. However, the consequences show that students do not benefit from this. They're actually left behind in this because the assessments are done to show where the students need help, and if they don't receive that help when their assessments are changed to make them look like they knew the answers. So disciplinary action is different depending on your state. depending on your district and your policies. Some districts don't have strict testing policies. Alabama, however, does. And then it could lead to your resignation, and as we've all heard in the Atlanta cases, possible criminal charges and even jail time. So you are falsifying documents, and that is, that's against the law. So in conclusion, to be an ethical teacher, you really always need to do what's best for the student. Not what's in your best interest, not what you feel like, not what you think is good, but what is best for your student. And if you don't know what's best for your student, then you probably need to seek out some counsel and see, what would be best for them. You need to think about how your actions will affect your effectiveness in the classroom. What is this going to look like if parents found out? What is this going to look like if your students found out? And how will they be able to learn from you after that takes place? And if you are here in Alabama, your best bet is to adhere to the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics, because it does explain everything. It has those 9 standards of professionalism, and if you follow them, you will be at your best. And some of my references are listed here, with the top one being the State Department of Education for Alabama Educator Code of Ethics. Thank you.